Hello there everybody, how's it going and how have you been? Welcome back to SpaceChem. In the last episode, we repurposed a big industrial mining laser into perhaps the coolest way to kill a bug ever. And now, we've been promoted to work on a space station. And I believe, as I mentioned at the end of the last episode, apart from this final level, which is going to be a boss just like always, all the levels on this station should be just research, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know if we're going to do all 5 in this one episode, or if we're going to get just, 2 or 3 done, but we'll find out. Yes! Oh, I've been waiting for this instruction, this command, for so long. This is flip-flop. And even though it's got a goofy name, once you get used to using it, it is very difficult to make a solution design that doesn't use it. Basically, what flip-flop does is it alternates the direction in which the Waldo will go. So, for example, in this lower picture down here, Red will come into the loop, he will go around. The first time he hits flip-flop, it will be dimmed, and he will ignore it. The second time he comes around the loop, however, it will be on, and he will follow it and go north, or up, I guess. And then flip-flop will turn back to its dim state. So, kind of like the manual controls in the defense, this is used to give the Waldos a branch for which way they go. Only this time, it's not manual control, it just... First time the Waldo goes by it, it ignores it. Second time it follows. Third time it ignores. Fourth time it follows, and so on. Now, there's no way to invert that, so there's no way to start a design with flip-flop pre-activated. So you will have to take that into consideration when you use it. But what it does is it gives you options for how to have one Waldo do more work. So in this bigger picture, on the first time through this loop, Red will not do anything, but he will turn all 3 of these flip-flops on. So the second time around, he hits the first one, activates the input for alpha, and then goes back out into the loop. Third time, he will turn this flip-flop on, follow this one, hit beta, come back around, call in alpha, and just, as it says down here, the upper input is executed twice as often as beta and 4 times as often as the output command. So in essence, you can use flip-flop to build a counter of sorts, and it's kind of dawning on me that I'm probably not explaining it very well. So after I show off the story page, for anybody who's interested, go right ahead and read it. I will be showing off flip-flop and how helpful he is. Although I'm not sure how I'm supposed to use him here. Oh, actually, I can use him by giving Blue the day off. So, I have Red call in either the hydrogen atom or the hydrogen gas. Grab it on the one tile that's shared between the two, come down. If we have a complete hydrogen gas molecule, just bring it back. If I just have an atom, come down here, and then attempt to, let's bond, drop. Now, this is a perfectly viable solution as it is, but in order to show off what flip-flop does, I'm going to modify it to include him. So what's basically going to happen when Red brings the first hydrogen atom down, it won't bond to anything, it'll just get left behind here. He will ignore flip-flop and come back up. The second time an atom comes in, he will bond it, push it over, and flip-flop will be on, so he'll turn, come down here, grab it, and I actually need to pull this out just the tiniest bit. Right? Yeah. There we go. You know what? Enough babbling. How about I just show you? So, complete gas, brings over here and tosses out. Don't be too discouraged if flip-flop seems a little complicated or unnecessary right now. I do remember first time I was playing this game, actually I should shush, as you saw he ignored flip-flop the first time, but second time it tells him to go to the right so he can actually deliver the gas. What was I saying? Right. In this instance, flip-flop is not necessary. I've only included him so that you can kind of see how red behaves whenever he passes by it. But believe me, this little command becomes so invaluable for the rest of the game. It is wonderful. And let's just finish that level. I'm pretty sure we've already seen it anyway. Oh, and big momentous occasion! Flip-flop was actually the final command the game had to teach us about before it unlocked ResearchNet. And I believe I mentioned it way back in my first two episodes, or maybe the second episode, or one of them. ResearchNet is basically the game's access into player-made levels. So you can create your own levels on ResearchNet. You can, for a while after the game's released, every couple of weeks, everybody would kind of get a pack of like 3 to 9 of like the best levels released in, you know, recent days, I guess, or just particularly clever ones. But yeah, it's basically a sandbox where you can build your own levels, play levels a friend has made. I think ResearchNet has probably... I don't think you can submit to it anymore, and I'm only basing that on the fact that I have not seen levels appear in ResearchNet recently, or, you know, for the past year, actually. So, while I don't think they upload, or not upload, update ResearchNet anymore, I'm sure there's probably at least a couple of websites out there where you can find the codes for puzzles that other people have made and just import them into your own copy of SpaceChem. And I will go into more info on ResearchNet in its own video, which will probably not be for a little while. But regardless, we've got another page. There you go. Anybody that's interested should have paused and read by now. Okay, so we have ethane that we have to turn into ethylene and hydrogen. So, okay. I believe what I would like to do... Red calls in the ethane. It is ethane, right? Not ethane? Yeah, ethane sounds right. Grabs it by the carbon. I feel like I'm being very disjointed in this episode. I kind of apologize for that. Let's see. Blue, you wait. Cut away the bond and move away this first hydrogen. Can you do that, actually? don't know if he can. So I think what's going to happen is Red's going to leave the other hydrogen on this bonder. So I need a bond plus here, which I can't do because there's already a grab command. Okay. So what if I get... No. Actually, I can, but I'm going to need Red's help timing this. So let's put the sync command here to activate Red once Blue is well out of the way. Red will have to sever the other hydrogen to leave it behind. Blue is going to have to run all the way around. So let me see, from the sync command it's going to take him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 squares to get back into position. So Red is going to have to activate a bond plus command 8 squares from the sync. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that should be okay. So, at least I think he might bump into Blue on the way. And actually, let me just test to see how it works before I go any further. Yep. I thought so. Okay, so how about I just pull him back a little bit and try again? No, I missed it. Okay, is that better? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So now, here, we do need flip-flop to tell Blue to leave once he's got the completed hydrogen, because it will always happen on his second pass. And he just drops it in the output zone, sends it out, and then goes back around to start. Now Red, meanwhile, has to kind of run a little bit of extra distance to create the double bond between the carbons to make it ethylene. But otherwise, he's good as well. So let's just make sure this works. And yep, looks like it does. Alright. So, if you still... I know I'm going to kind of repeat myself here, but if you're still kind of questioning how useful flip-flop is, don't worry about it. These levels are very easy to get us accustomed to the idea of using flip-flop, because for the longest time we've never been able to do anything like this except in a defense level. But just trust me when I say that command is going to come in very handy. Maybe on the rest of the station, but most definitely on the next planet. Let's just finish that off. No employment record found. Okay. Another page. Anybody that's interested. Okay, so we have boron, aluminum, and silicon. And we need to make, I'm assuming, these guys into chlorine. So that's 5, 13, and 14 to make 17. 2, Oh, we do have a sensor. Blue is hiding it from me. Okay. So... I don't actually think we will need flip-flop on this level. So, actually, Red, you wait. Or, no, rather, Red, you go right ahead. I did not mean to rhyme right there. Give me the thank you. Alrighty. So... Ooh, hang on. I think I will need flip-flop, actually. Because the idea was to call in one of these 3 atoms, leave it in the target area of the fusion laser, and then just have Red run through a loop, bringing up hydrogen until he makes chlorine, and then exiting with the chlorine. The problem is that I can't put the sensor where the fusion target is, so Red would have to carry this atom to check. If it's not chlorine, go back up, put it back down, come back down around to get the hydrogen, and then come up and fuse it in, check it again, so on. And I think I can do that, but again, flip-flop makes it a lot easier. So, I do want to change the sensor to chlorine. But you... I'm still putting down blue commands for some reason. Right, if it is not chlorine, go back up and put it down. You'll continue the loop. And as such, so when he brings the atom down to check it, he will turn on flip-flop. If it is a chlorine, he will come down. If it isn't, he'll go back up, put it down, come down, hit flip-flop, and go back. And, activate blue. I think I actually need to back him up just the tiniest bit, because I most definitely do not want him running forward. Seeing as blue now has to, yeah, carry the hydrogen up, fuse it into the atom to work towards chlorine. You can go ahead and turn Red back on right there as he comes back down. Okay, and then when Red does get a chlorine, he just calls in hydrogen, connects it, delivers it, and starts anew. Alright. I think this should work. I feel like that's kind of become like kind of like my catchphrase for this series. I think this will work. Let's just see. So we're at 15, 16. Yep. Okie dokie. Ooh. Okay, so he leaves the chlorine. Okay, I admit I did not foresee that. So, how... Alright. Basically, he makes the first one right. But the second time, because flip-flop is left on, he runs and hides with the atom. Blue can't fuse the hydrogen into it, which means second time blue calls in a hydrogen, he will slam the old one into the new one. So I need a way to activate flip-flop anyway? Like, reset it, I guess? Well, wait, what if I just move flip-flop over here, right? So he will pick up the atom, check if it's chlorine, come back, go around, put it down, and... No, I think I'm still running into the same problem, right? Oh, nope, because he leaves with the chlorine before he hits flip-flop and accidentally leaves it on, so there we go. Now, again, I'm pretty sure I could have done this without a flip-flop command, but that probably would have involved Red running scatterbrained all around the reactor doing who knows what. I can't even think of an example to give. I can tell when a boron comes in because there's a longer pause between the beeps of it producing the hydrochloric acid. Wow, it's slow. Okay. Well, we are kind of in the middle of the time window, but seeing how fast these are getting knocked out, I say let's go on. Another story page. Go right ahead. Okay, oh, hello. We've got carbon and fluorine. We have to make polytetrafluoroethylene. Jeez, try saying that molecule name 5 times fast. Okay, so... Oh, and of course it wants a full 8 layers of it. Okay. Well, I know how to make the FCF sets pretty quickly. Red. We call in a fluorine. Actually, let's call it in up here. Bond it. Rotate, and then I make him turn back after calling in a second fluorine. He will hit the rotate again, meaning the first fluorine will now be on the right side of the carbon. The new chlorine will be attached to the left, and then, thanks to our new friend Flip-Flop, he leaves, rather than just pinging back and forth between these 2 points. And can just go ahead and drop it and tell Blue that it's okay to do his job. Alright. Now then. I know I need to slide the layer in at the bottom. And Blue will be holding it by the carbon, so let's just go ahead and bond it. Now, if I try to move up, it will work for all the layers except the final one, because then I will be trying to push the top of the molecule out, and I will get an error. So instead, drop grab drop, I think. If the whole thing has been made, there will be a fluorine sitting there. So if we get not a neon, a fluorine, then I know I've made all 8 layers, so you can go ahead and export, or output, or whatever. If not, actually, hang on, I'm just remembering the picture from the tutorial page of flip-flop, and I think I can do this without the sensor, actually. I think it was three flip-flops. Wait, no, I do need to actually connect the layers. Alright, let me start from the beginning. So, bring the layer in and bond it. Put it down, so they will be in these 3 columns. And then, how do I get back around to actually lift it? What if instead of handling it by the carbon, I handle it by the left-hand fluorine? So, same result, I just have a little bit more space. No, actually, I think I do still need the sensor. So, yeah, if we get a fluorine here, I'll have put all 8 layers together. Otherwise, just grab it by the right-hand fluorine. This will push it back. Lift it up and put it down. So basically lift the whole thing to make way for the next layer if it's not complete. But either way, yeah, okay. Maybe I could have done a counter with a bunch of flip-flops, but not. Oh. Need to change those to input beta. There we go. Yeah, maybe could have done a counter with a bunch of flip-flops, but need to flip the rotate. As I was saying, maybe could have done a counter with several flip-flops like we saw on the tutorial page, but this way should work. I'm just watching it at a slower speed to make sure. Okay. Oh, that's actually a very good thing. Fluorine can only make 1 bond. Kind of looked out on that because, as you might notice, there are 2 fluorines sitting on these bonders when red starts building the next layer. But fortunately, because they're connected to the carbon, they can't link to themselves and start throwing things into a mess, I guess. Oh. Okay. Now that I've put in the output command, again, should work. Actually, yeah, there we go. Okay. Accidents happen. Well, I think this is going to be one of those cases. Because I was not expecting a big output level, that took me a little bit longer than I thought it would, and looking at the clock next to me, I am at the upper limit for how long I like to record, but because I'd rather not have one research level all by itself, because in this case I do remember the boss for a Tropo station, and I remember that it is fairly difficult, we're going to do a little bit of a longer episode just to get this research level knocked out. So we have phosphine and silane, or silane, I guess. Okay. Uh-huh. This is actually a situation where I know I'm going to need flip-flop. So I believe what I would like to do is have a sensor gate. And how about red reacts to phosphorus, blue reacts to silicon. Thank you. And let's point these guys to the right, or to the left. There we go. Red. You can go ahead and start the process. Okay. So, actually, actually this might be a little too complicated for each one to work independently. So, how about I will let blue stay down here to handle the hydrogen gas. Red will be the one handling the alpha input. So you grab your molecule, you come, let's just move the bonders over a little. Actually there should be good. Yeah. And how about you start blue there. Nope, blue needs a third square. Nope. Putting everything in the wrong spots. There we go. Okay. So now red turns on blue. Blue will move forward, pick up a hydrogen, or call in a hydrogen, pick it up, cut the bond, leave one over here, and then just drop the other one there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. That should keep them from colliding with one another. Red goes ahead and bonds the two, or bonds his atom to the 2 hydrogen. And meanwhile, here, I guess? What I would like to do is have this sensor kind of working double duty. It will tell blue what to do next if red has a silicon or phosphorus. And likewise, the second time red comes around to bump it, to glide over it, it will tell him whether to go to psi or to omega. Now, I'm going to use this pause command really quick just to get everything aligned. Oh. There we go. Nope, they bump into each other, so I have to back right up even more. Darn my twitchy thumb. There we go. Okay, so it will be here, I think, that determines whether, or do I need that fourth bonder? I don't think I do. So, yeah, blue is right here, so blue, if red has a phosphorus, go up. If he has a silicon, just go back down. Now red. How do I want you to do this? Now, regardless, I know you need to rotate. And then you go back up. Actually, yeah, let's just put another phosphorus detector. Make red loop back around. But this time I will be using flip-flops so that the next time red goes around, he will go either up into psi or down into omega, depending on what he's got. Alright, I think that's red done. Blue is going to have the complicated job. So yeah, blue goes ahead and comes back around. If it's a silicon, just go ahead and break it apart. If it is a phosphorus, then what I would like to do is have blue, when it's a phosphorus, leave just one of the hydrogens behind and basically move the other one like out of the way. And then the next time a phosphorus comes in, he will have hit a flip-flop and just gone to pick up the leftover hydrogen. So actually, let's have phosphorus point down for that, because I realize I can have a grab drop command and a flip-flop to make him steal it away. That's a silicon. He can just go right back around. Now then, where do I want blue to put it so that it is out of the way of red? Right here should do, actually. The logic in my head is getting a little complicated, so I'm just going to run it and watch. So we get a silicon, and red completes that loop too quickly. So let's just pull that part out a little bit. Okay, so I will need a flip-flop here to tell blue to go back to start on after doing his part for the silicon. And this should produce... hang on. Once I change that to Omega, it will start producing this silane or silane or whatever it is. Yeah, another silicon, so I can just fast forward through that. Phosphorus. Okay, here's where things are getting to get complicated. And just like I was afraid of, he collides with that. Okay. So the obvious answer would be to make red back up. Ah, there we go. This will cause him to hit a sink again. But a sink right here should alleviate the problem. Ah! Dang it. What did I do? I accidentally hit speed 4 when I didn't mean to. Really gotta end the episode off quickly here. I did not notice that about 10, 11 minutes had passed already. Yeah, it makes that. Okay. So that's good. No, it's not, because red's in the way. So what if, instead of making them wait at the beginning, what if I tell blue, or rather, what if I have them wait in between? Like, that'll work, right? Yeah, there we go. Alright, so that's the silicon still working. Nope, not a phosphorus yet. There it is. Okay, so blue starts up. He will come down here, bring that in, and move much too quickly. Okay. Okay, well, you know what? I'm not happy with this, but it looks like we've hit our first research level that's going to make me leave it halfway through. I would cut or time lapse, but this episode has already gone on much longer than I wanted it to. So I'm just going to end it here. Another reason I don't want to cut or time lapse is because I honestly have no idea how to fix it right now. So, yeah, we are going to leave accidents happen as it is. I'm not sure whether I'm going to solve it on camera in the next episode, or if I'm just going to solve it off camera and show you guys the results, and then kind of have the boss as mostly its own episode next. I'll just have to figure that out on my own. So, with kind of a longer episode, although we did make quite a bit of progress on the Atropo station, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all had a great time, and I hope you all have a great day. I will see you all in the next episode, and farewell for now.